So what do you do when you sit down, you're looking at your numbers, and you find that your business is losing money without reacting, without spiraling, and without making decisions out of fear, but actually knowing what to look for and what to do next? Today, I'm walking you through the exact framework we use inside Kickstart Kit when a client is losing money, how we assess what's really happening, how we identify the root cause, and how we move forward with clarity and confidence instead of making emotional decisions. Now, let's be honest. Most small business owners don't have a plan for this moment. And I get it, who plans for this? But what happens next? What we've seen is clients who are panicking. They start cutting all of their expenses, question their business, and it is so hard to watch and see. But business owners, they question themselves and their worth. They start making fast decisions without any clear data. And I want to encourage anyone who's listening who might be in this position, pause. This is your leadership moment. And I get it. It can be emotional. You can have your time where you do panic. You can think about everything that you're going to cut, and you can have a few moments where you do question everything. And then we're going to pause and take control. Deep breath and respond like a CEO. I want to give you the framework to apply. So before you change anything, right? Before you do anything, do not take any action yet. You need to understand what you're looking at. Now, not all losses in your business are created equal. The first thing we do inside our framework is to determine, is this a short-term loss? Is this seasonal? Or is this long-term? A short-term loss might look like a large annual expense, maybe a few one-time investments, or a temporary dip in revenue. Seasonality might look like a slow cycle in your industry. So maybe every January and February, it looks very slow in your industry. Maybe it's the summertime, right? It's a predictable seasonality. And then there's long-term. So a long-term loss is when losses, net income loss, is happening consistently over multiple months. And this is where we slow down and really dig in. We have to look at the historical data before we can decide what actions to take. So is this a pattern? Has this happened before? This is the importance of having bookkeeping over time. I want you to have a large, vast amount of data over the life of your business. And so looking backwards at your profit and loss by month over years is going to show you, has this happened before in your business? Is this a pattern or is this new territory? So one of the most important questions we want to ask right at this point in the framework is, where is the cash problem actually coming from? Because until we know that, we cannot fix it. So let's go to step 2. It's identifying the root cause. So we're going to move from observation to understanding. First step is to identify short-term, seasonal, or long-term. To identify the root cause, I want you to ask yourself a series of questions to help you think through your financials. So as you think through the last quarter or the last 6 months, are there any parts of your operations, like how you are operating your business, that's contributing to the financial losses that you're experiencing right now? Is there a specific new strategy or growth strategy or investment that you've implemented over the last quarter or 2? Have you hired? Are there recent changes to staff members or roles for anyone on your team? So we're thinking through the expense portion of your financial statements. And then, are there any specific products, services, or projects that have consistently resulted in either lower revenue or higher cost of goods sold? So starting to look at what's coming into the business. And then, have you noticed any changes in your customers' behavior or preferences that are impacting your current financial performance of your business? These questions are to be asked with an open heart, no shame or no judgment. But as we're thinking through what is causing the losses in my business, we need to be very specific about what has changed over the last quarter or 2. What has changed over the last few months, and what new investments are we making? I think as business owners, what I've seen over the last 11 years working with thousands of business owners, we forget how expensive it is to create a new growth strategy. The amount of time and energy and patience it takes to see a new strategy come to fruition. Think about the last team member you hired and how long it took to bring that new team member on board and to make them revenue generating. So I want you to think through what has changed for your business and the impact that it's had on your financials. Remember, these are not surface level questions. What has helped me over the years is thinking that I am back in my CFO days, and we would have a quarterly board meeting where our investors and private equity firm, they would come in and we would present the financial data to them. And we would have to show them how the financials were doing, how they did compared to last year and how we were doing compared to budget. And you guys, big businesses aren't always sunshine and rainbows. They have losses in their business as well. We would prepare a board level presentation to walk our investors through understanding what was causing the losses in the business and what we were going to do about it. And so I want you to act like you are preparing to present to your board, like not the surface level questions that making excuses. I want you to really think deep and schedule time with your money team. Get on a call, talk to your coach, and have this deeper level conversation about what is happening in your business. Then we can move to step 3, build a strategy. Now that we understand what's happening, we can decide what we're going to do about it. And I want to give you one most important rule. We do not change everything at once. We choose one focused change. We can choose one thing to do. Adjust a few expenses. Evaluate our hiring decisions or who is on the team. Review pricing and make small changes. Start building some cash reserves. If it's seasonal, we plan for it. We know that it's happening and we plan for it so that we don't have to act surprised by it every single year. We prepare to adjust staffing, or adjust our own owner's pay, or build those reserves during strong months so that we can weather the slower months. If it's a one-time issue, we can understand what happened and create a plan so it doesn't happen again. If it's long-term, that's where we can start bringing in the deeper tools. Look at expense grading. What do we have in our business and what do we want to keep moving forward? What does our budget look like for the rest of the year? Now is the time to reforecast. Look at our profitability analysis. What's coming in and what's profitable? And then compensation planning. But I want to be clear. This is one change at a time. All right, step 4, it's our mindset and leadership. And this is the part that matters more than most people realize. Because when your business is losing money, your energy changes. And as a CEO, I want to be clear, your energy sets the tone. It sets the tone for your team. It sets the tone for your clients. So let's come back to this. This is temporary. Every single business has seasons. It has growth and it has dips. And most importantly, you, my friend, are capable of navigating this. I want you to anchor back into what you're doing as a business. What is your mission? Why did you start this business in the first place? What are your core values? What was your goal? What is the impact that you're having on your community, your team, in the world that you live in? Your role as the CEO is not just to fix the numbers, not just to adjust the profit. Your role is to lead your business through this season. Start to celebrate those small wins. Keep the momentum moving forward. Do not lose focus. Anchor back in. Step 5. This is the moment that we aren't just getting air quote through the situation. It's about building a stronger mindset, leadership strategy, and stronger business because of what we're going through. So to prepare for long-term success, we're going to start to build our 1 to 3 months worth of cash reserves. We're going to think about how to make more intentional decisions and start putting those standard operating procedures in place, how we make decisions in the future. And then we think through, how do we prevent this from happening again in the future? I want to anchor here to what did we learn? This season of loss It is giving you data. And this data, it's going to make you a better CEO. I promise you can get through this time and you're going to be better for it. Here at Kickstart, I am so deeply touched by my team. They have come to me with this conundrum of clients who are losing money. They say, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I just want to help them. They're such an amazing person and such an amazing business owner, and I want to do what I can to help them. And I want to touch on something really important here. There is a difference between coaching and consulting. You can do this. If your business is losing money right now, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not failing. You are in a moment that requires clarity. You cannot get clarity without accurate numbers. If your bookkeeping is behind, if your reports don't make sense, or if you don't trust your numbers, then everything feels heavier than it needs to because you're trying to lead without data. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back to your numbers. I want you to look at your income statement and ask yourself, does this really make sense? Do I understand what I'm looking at? And do I know what my next step is? If the answer is no, that's your starting point. Because when you have clear numbers, you stop reacting and you start leading. You've got this. This is just a season. And with the right data and the right strategy and the right support from your money team, you will move through this stronger. We're here for you. We're watching your back, and we're going to continue to help give you the data and the information that you need to lead with confidence. If you need a money team, I want you to go to kickstartaccountinginc.com so that we can support you in your business so you can step into your role as CEO.